what's up? Madison here, and I'm not in Paris, I'm not in France, I'm not in Egypt, I'm actually in Dallas, Texas here, and I'm here running a free tour boot camp in a hot seat. And yesterday at the free tour, a guy asked me an amazing question that I thought really was interesting I wanted to share with you. He said, if you can go back in time, if you had a time machine, what are the top 4 lessons you would tell yourself in terms of mindsets, techniques, strategies, etc. So I'm gonna share those with you right now. Before we do that, as always, go down and hit the little bell notification next to the subscribe button. YouTube made some changes so you don't get notified of my new videos unless you press that subscribe and notification bell. So do that right now. Good, done, we're good, sweet. Now let's enjoy the video, sit back, relax, get your popcorn, and let's crack into it. Having a drink at this beautiful patio with a 30-foot eyeball in the background. Yeah, that's a 30-foot eyeball. I heard they either airdropped it. Imagine an eyeball 30 feet coming in through the sky. This is 23 karat.
23 karat.
No, because that's how we do. And somebody actually peeled the gold off the wall because they're a cheap bastard. Actually, they're just smart. They're fucking geniuses. Imagine coming here every day and peeling a little bit of gold off the wall. What are the headspaces, mindsets, patterns of behavior, work ethic, principles that I learned to make me successful at this? What are ones that you can adapt, and so on and so on? All right. First one, number one. This is, I can do a whole fucking 2 hours on this one, dude. This one alone will could possibly change your life, okay? As a young guy in this century, realize that everything that we have right now is built on a previous generation that hustled. They all had a fire in the belly. They all had that fire in the belly, that hunger, that ambition to make it happen. The chair you're sitting on, the clothes you're wearing, the room that we're in, the city that was founded by 4 fathers. Everything came from guys that hustled and had crazy ambition and crazy work ethic. Now, unfortunately, in this generation, we fell out of touch with it a little bit. You know, we're very fortunate for this generation not to be in any war. You know, there's no major war like Vietnam or any of that stuff, right? There's no world war. There's 2 in the previous kind of like generations. You no longer have to go outside and hunt for food. Thank goodness, right? Or climb a tree and pick berries if you're vegan, right? You no longer have to do that every morning. But because of that modern convenience, a little part of your soul dies every single day. That's my belief on it, you know. And when I say soul, I don't mean in a spiritual sense. I mean a little part of your essence as a guy dies every day. So imagine it like this. It's kind of like the modern convenience makes you lazy, or the modern convenience like kills your drive as a man. Remember how we thought like, who here is like over 25, for example? Okay, over 25. Okay, half the room over 25. Me too. I'm over 25. I'm like mid-30s now. When I was like younger, we used to have these things called Palm Pilots. You guys remember these? Okay, and Palm Pilots were like the little how do I express it? They're like iPhones without color and without anything cool. They're basically like almost like the Amazon Kindle. That was basically a Palm Pilot, okay? And this thing would cost like $500, whatever. It'd be really sophisticated to get it. And we always thought that when we had better technology, the technology improved, if we got the color, that would be the shit. That would be the shit, it'd be amazing. And our lives would change. We could become so much more innovative. Then we thought like, when we got color screens, we're like, well, I don't have to use this little head of pen that would come with the phone. We don't have to use a stylus pen anymore. when I can just touch the screen, that'd be amazing. And I remember also when cameras started to first come out on cell phones, it was mind-blowing. The first cell phone cameras looked like you were taking a picture with a toaster. It was so bad. It was like a square for an eye and like that. It was horrible, horrible. And I was like, man, when the technology gets better, and we develop this appreciation for the technology, we're gonna use it. We're gonna be like those movies of Martians where you see like they're all like in the same color and like they're wearing a uniform, like, we are effective society of people, la 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 la. Now, what do you actually use your camera for mostly? Well, if you're a chick, it's for ass shots. And if you're a dude, it's for what? I don't know, screenshotting directions or something? Like, I don't even know what guys do with their phone. I have no idea what we do with our phone. Right? Like, what do we actually do with this amazing computer that's now in our phone? Or in our pocket. We don't do very much. So this crazy idea that we become better as humans never actually happened. It never actually evolved due to the technology. In some ways we are. I mean, Elon Musk is pretty cool. It's pretty cool, you know. Tesla, SpaceX, Solar City is pretty cool. But these advances we thought everybody would make didn't happen. And I believe it's because we became so comfortable. We became so comfortable in our society and the way that everything worked in society. Now, how does this relate to you getting chicks? How does it relate to you in your life and your development? Well, you lost that fire in the belly. You came out of touch with that fire in the belly. You used to have it. Every guy used to have it. And now it's kind of like dissipated through society for a lot of different reasons, okay? It could be how females raise their male children now to be like more socially acceptable, so they're no longer like as aggressive in that kind of like hunger way. There's a lot of different reasons. I can go back and forth about those for a long time. So I'm not gonna list all of them today. But I will say this, when I first started getting good, I fell in love with that fire in the belly. I appreciated it so much, that drive. Guys asked me how I got good. I had no fucking choice, man. I had no choice. I was desperate, desperate beyond desperate. I was 2 steps away from either a pill or a gun or prostitutes or nothing, just getting like 400 pounds or like, I don't know. I was like 1 step away from it all. So I didn't really have a choice. I didn't see a way out. I didn't see a way out. Like, what was the alternative? Like, get the money, the car, all the stuff. I busted my ass doing that. It never worked. Never really worked. What was the other alternative? Get jacked in the gym. Oh, by the way, haha, I did that. I used to be about 20, 25 pounds more. I was like football player size of muscle. I did that because my girlfriend wouldn't sleep with me anymore. I got jacked up. Worked out every day. I'm like, baby, do you like me yet? She's like, no, fuck you. I'm like, oh, no. Maybe I had to lift more so she thinks I'm a man. I'm serious, like I did this. Like I worked out, they call it like male body dysmorphia. You know, have you heard about that? Yeah. It's like the opposite of a chick. Like a chick thinks she's never skinny enough, a guy can think he's never big enough. So I was like, I had male body dysmorphia. I was like just working out like crazy. Like, maybe if I work out, she'll love me more. That's her calling right now. Maybe she'll love me. Baby, is it you? I'll take you back anytime. Right? Maybe if I work out, she'll call me more. And she never did. She never ever did. So that was sad and pathetic. But I had no choice. That's my point. I had no choice at all. It was like, you know, the Jeffy's book, Get Laid or Die Trying. I was just like the die trying part, because everything I did didn't work. Like you might say the alternative is what? The alternative is like I go out every day and I get better on this long gradual progress, and I maybe fall in love and I get hurt, but I'm like I recover from that and I get out some more and I learn about people and I learn I'm not as perfect as I thought I was, and I get hurt and I do bad and I come out and I get good and I get some results, and this upward journey of like mountain peaks. And it's like delusional, like pumping myself full of like good ideas and good emotions and good thoughts all day long as much as I can, and trying to like eat good food and like trying to like have kombucha every once in a while and like not have like too many processed sugars, even though sometimes I cheat, and like, you know, try to like get good sleep, maybe sleep with an eye mask every once in a while, like all this like fucking stuff I had to do. If I didn't have to do that stuff, I wouldn't have done it. If I didn't have to, I wouldn't have done any of that stuff, but I had to because there was no other choice. The other way wasn't working. So I had a really, really, really deep fire in the belly for this, a real deep hunger. And in fact, I can usually tell who's gonna be good before I even see them out. I can usually tell. I can tell by 2 things. First of all, how you shake my hand right away. You come up to me, maybe in the street or the bathroom, the way you shake my hand. I can tell how socially savvy you are. It's just a starting point where you're at. And I can tell how honest you're gonna be about your own bullshit. Does that make sense? how honest you will be to yourself about your own bullshit. Like, it's very hard for us to believe our own bullshit, because if we believe our own bullshit, it means that maybe a year of our life has been a lie. Right? Let's say for example this, okay? I told you right now, okay, I broke the little glass seal and I rolled up the curtain. I told you, those girls that are really attractive on Tinder, they're not only just there for validation. Some of them actually want to meet a guy. And you'd be like, that's not true, man, because I swiped right on all of them. And I swiped like crazy. I got the swiping thing, the automatic swiping thing. I swiped like crazy. And they all blew me out. I'm like, but yes, that's because of you. And you'd be like, what? No, like, no, say it ain't so. It'd be like that, what's that, like Christmas Carol where like Scrooge like wakes up, he's like, no. The world's spinning, and be like that. You're like, no. Because all of your ideas about yourself would have to come crashing down. You're not really ready to eat your own bullshit yet. And I was very, very ready to eat my own bullshit. Dude, I was so ready because I was desperate. And I can tell who's gonna be good and who's gonna be bad based on that one factor. So I do this with assistants, I do this with students, I do this with even guys that I hang out with. I'll give you an example, okay? So with students, a guy will come on boot camp and there'll be two guys. One guy would have just had a divorce. Okay, he just had a divorce, and he is a shadow of a shell of a man. There is no self-confidence left in him at all. He doesn't even know who he is anymore. He's been pulled left and right from the house and the money and the kids, and also just torn him apart on the inside. He doesn't even know who he is anymore. The guy who he was when he got married 20 years ago, he doesn't even know that. It's like an imagination story there, like some figure of imagination. He doesn't even know that guy anymore. And that guy will usually come to boot camp, and he'll be so appreciative that he can even say hello to a stranger that he kills it. He has a great time. He doesn't know what the fuck he's doing, but he's so happy to be out of the house that he's like, I'm out the house. Yes, fuck yes. He's like, yeah. Like a little like thing there, like ding dong, the witch is dead. I'm out the house, yes. I can talk to a person. And he's like running up on like 20-year-old girls. He's like, hello. They're like, hello. He's like, yeah, I'm out the house. And he's like, it's amazing. And he's just so happy to just be free. Okay, and he usually does pretty well because he's decided, like, it's like he just got out of jail, and he's like, he has no time to waste in recycling his own bullshit. And then on the other hand, you'll get a guy who's like 24, 25, and this guy might have had like some really cool friends that play hockey, or he has some natural buddies of his that go out and they drink all the time, you know, and they don't try that hard. He says to himself, why should I try that hard? Why should I make an effort? Like, my buddies don't make an effort. In the Madison Bootcamp at home, I call this the good-looking guy. Okay, the good-looking guy or the high-status guy. And he doesn't want to make an effort because his friends didn't make effort. And he comes to program. And he's like, well, I paid the money and I'm here on program, so it'll work out. No. Just because you come on a boot camp doesn't entitle you to have your life work out. As odd as that sounds. Because I can guide a guy, I can teach him, I can coach him, motivate him, but if he doesn't want to take the information, I can't do anything. I can't shove the information down his throat. I can't make him recite it. I can't put my hand up his ass and make him walk over to the girl and try to move his mouth like a ventriloquist puppet. I've done it before. It's really gross. You don't want to see it. And I don't enjoy it either. Right?
Did he pay you good?
It was fair. It was a fair amount. So same price as everybody else. I had extra favors. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like the student rub and tug. You know what I'm saying? So I can't do that. I've done it before, and it's a horrible experience for me. What I usually do in that situation is I take the student and the program is 3 days. The boot camp is 3 days long, where I take a guy to bar, lounges, nightclubs in the city, teach him how to talk to people, correct him in real time. It's a 3-day long program. And what I usually do with that guy is for 2 days, I give him hell. For 2 days, I push him to the brink of crying, almost to the brink of like breakdown, because I'm like, oh, you thought your little shit worked. Let's see it. Let's try it. He's like, it works. I'm like, let's try it. He does it. Doesn't work. It works. It works. It works. And I give him, sometimes on purpose, I'll give him so many negative references of his little bullshit idea that doesn't work to the point he can't deny it anymore. Right? So let's say he has this bullshit idea of just buy a girl a drink. No hidden agenda. I'll buy them the drink, and that's how my parents met each other. That's how you fuck the girls. You buy them a drink. Okay? So he's like, I'll buy them a drink. I'm like, okay, you're buying a drink thing works? Awesome. Okay, good gentleman guy. All right, absolutely. Hey, try it on that girl over there with 2 friends. Try it on that girl who's walking down the street. Try it on that girl who is on the cell phone. Try it on this, and then they'll try it over and over and over and over again. And then guess what? It doesn't work the way he wants it to work. And then he's like this little bullshit reality just kind of just breaks in front of him. He's like, oh. It's like Neo coming out of the Matrix, and he's just fucked up, right? So he'll usually either like run away from program, like he'll try to like go and hide in the bathroom, or like hide from me around the corner, like he'll like hide from me like around the corner, like in the club. I'm like, I see you. He's like, ah. It's kind of like shining the light on a cockroach. He's like, ah. I'm like, but I love all my cockroaches. I love all my students. And he comes to me for that, and I do it for his benefit because I want to have him expose those blind spots he's ignoring. But then once they're exposed, we can kind of finally build on them. Once we know the bullshit's there, we can clean out the sewer. You know what I'm saying? Instead of going like, oh, that toilet isn't overflowing, just like lying to ourselves. Oh, there's no shit on the floor in the bathroom. Oh, no, it's clean. Like, no, let's realize there's shit on the floor. Let's clean it up. Let's flush the toilet. Let's get a little Lysol in there, and then good as new. Let's Airbnb that shit after, right? So that's what I do. So that's the second quality, being able to be honest about your own bullshit. Number 1 would be that fire in the belly. Okay, those are 2 qualities that will dramatically change your life could dramatically change your life when it comes to this stuff. I'll do the same thing with assistants as well. Usually when I have an assistant or somebody who wants to travel with me to Europe or whatever, I'll purposely not give them details to see if they can figure out the details. Does that make sense? Yeah. Like I'll purposely not mention where the hotel room is. Right? I'll do that. Or I'll purposely sometimes show up a little late just to see how they manage the situation when I'm not there. Can they get the conference room ready? I'll sometimes give them a task and not follow up. Now, this is also a very horrible way of managing people because it's called giving people their own rope, giving them enough rope to hang themselves, right? So eventually, if you give somebody enough rope, they'll just like take it for granted and they'll kind of fuck up, which is a horrible way of managing them because everybody will just kind of like be really, really lazy about it. I'm sure you guys have heard Owen talk about this pissing on the toilet seat thing. You guys heard about this? So like, it's almost like, you go to the guy's bathroom and you're at a club or a bar and there's like the women's bathroom on one side and the guy's bathroom on one side. And the women's bathroom is always sparkling clean, and the guy's bathroom smells like piss from outside the door. And then you go into the guy's bathroom, it's just like there's like this piss on the urinal, like on the walls. There's like piss on the floor, like in front of the urinal, like 10 feet behind it. You're like, what's going on here? A guy's just like spraying everywhere. Are they just spraying piss? Like, what are they doing? And really, what happens is one guy comes, he pisses, and it's like a little drop, and he's like, the janitor will get it. The next guy comes and goes, well, there's a little piss there. It's not even clean anymore. I'll piss a little bit there too. Or like little drops. And all of a sudden, it's like every guy's just getting lazy and you have just piss everywhere. And you're like, how did that happen? Well, it's the same thing with an assistant, right? I'll usually typically let the assistant kind of like slack off a little bit to the point where they've slacked off and they've either neglected so much work that the work is now piled up and now they feel pressured and now they're gonna crack. I try to get them to the cracking point as soon as possible. So basically I treat my assistants like students. That sounds horrible. You guys are like, damn, all right. So yeah, join University. It's great. But I do it intentionally to kind of see like where the person's stress threshold is, which is my third point. Stress threshold. You want to figure out where your stress threshold is and you want to push it. You want to push it as far as you can comfortably, all right? Anytime you grow emotionally, it's like a little sphincter. You gotta just grow it, it's a little slow. Lube it up, warm it up, and then grow it, and then warm it up, and then grow it, okay? You gotta grow it slowly. It doesn't grow fast. Your emotions are the same way. You have to put yourself in as many, I won't even say traumatizing, but be honest, yeah, somewhat traumatizing situations as possible for you to grow. You have to jump off the ledge of the social interactions as much as possible to realize there is no ground that you're gonna hit and die, all right? So that includes the dreaded girl standing next to a guy. She's standing next to a guy. What do? How would you handle that? I don't know. I'm freaked out. I don't know. I couldn't handle that for like half a year. I was freaked out at first. I'm like, she's standing next to a guy. He's gonna punch me in the face. I know it. It's gonna happen. He's big. He's got an armband tattoo. He's drinking a Red Bull. Oh man, that guy's worked up. You know? And often the guys that are coolest, you actually go over there. You're like, hey, what's up? Nice to meet you guys. You guys enjoying your evening? They go, yeah. You go, how do you two know each other? He goes, oh yeah, we're friends from work. Or like she's like, oh, he's my brother. You're like, oh. And all of a sudden you realize they're not dating. Okay? But you imagine this crazy, crazy loop in your mind. Another one is the dreaded girl on her cell phone. She's on her cell phone. And all you gotta do really to get off her cell phone is just go to this. Or like the dreaded girl on her Walkman. She has earphones on. She has earphones. All you gotta do to get her off her earphones is go this. That's it. It's not that hard, but in your mind you imagine it. So unless you throw yourself in like these pain threshold situations that allow you to grow, you'll just constantly imagine that they're real. I'll give you a second. You just constantly imagine that they're real, but they're not. They're not real at all. It's just in your imagination. But your mind will constantly give you evidence to support other evidence, to support other evidence, to support past evidence that it's real. I'm gonna say that again because it's kind of complicated, all right? Your mind will constantly look for evidence to support past evidence.
That fucks up your future.
That fucks up your future, yeah, exactly. Okay, I'll say it again. So, because I'm gonna make a point on this. Your mind will constantly look for evidence that will be to support evidence, support past evidence. So what does that mean? You got in a fight once, you're always looking for guys to get in a fight. You actually attract aggressive guys. Old lady gets her purse robbed. Every time she walks by a black guy, she holds the purse a little bit more. Right? Constantly looking for the evidence over and over and over and over again. Actually, I think that camera will be all right, but I think that one needs to be reset. Because that one's on a Shogun, so it should keep going. So the second one is the one that'll have to be done. Yeah. And that hurts you. As long as you're living in fear and protection of yourself while you're learning this stuff, you'll just constantly find more evidence that you should live in fear. But if you stretch your comfort zone a little bit by a little bit, inch by inch, put yourself in kind of like uncomfortable situations, and you learn that you survived. You get into this weird situation like, I'm okay, I survived, I got through it. I'm not dead. Oh my gosh, I did get punched in the face by the dude. Oh wow, I told her to take off her headphones and she actually did it. And she was happy to meet me. You just push it a little bit further every single time, you realize that there's nothing to be afraid of at all. You're still okay. And you're still okay. And your brain will gather more evidence that it's okay. Your brain will start to look for reasons of why it's okay. It's almost like when you're really hungry in making money, you want to make a business, you start looking for business opportunities. All of a sudden, business opportunities, passive income opportunities to make more money start popping up. You start reading new websites that you didn't read before. You start looking for partners that didn't exist before. And all of a sudden, you start to believe that you can get this business going. And your mind is looking for those things. It's called your reticular activation system. It starts looking for things that support what you want. Start looking for things that support what you believe. And the more you do this in game, the better and faster you can grow to actually get more success. So I thought we'd pop out into the street for point number 3, get some fresh air, talk a little bit more about it. Actually, what happened was the camera battery died inside the seminar, so I lost the rest of the footage. I have to shoot it for you guys right now. It was a pleasure of mine because it gave me time to refine the concept and the thoughts and the process behind it. So it's actually point number 3 is all about the mind. Okay, the great thing about pickup and self-development is it teaches you about your mind. I would call it an odyssey of the mind. You will learn more about your mind than other people in their entire lifetimes, right? Because you're going out and you're talking to strangers for every single night you go out, maybe 50 strangers, 40 strangers, and you get so much social feedback that teaches you how to deal with adversity. It teaches you how to deal with people not liking you. It teaches you how to deal with people who don't appreciate your sense of humor. And all that feedback comes into you. And it comes to your presence and your attention, and you decide what to do with it on a moment-to-moment basis. You have to say to yourself, am I gonna take all this feedback, people don't like me, people tell me to fuck off, people tell me I'm weird, I'm creepy, and am I either gonna change my behaviors or am I gonna get depressed about it? So you always have that choice, and you learn how to process so much feedback from people. So it makes you understand your mind more than people of the similar age. So you could be 25 years old, but because you're doing pickup and self-development, you're gonna have the knowledge of a person who's 30. You can be 30 years old because you're doing this. You can have the insights and knowledge of a person who's 40 years old. You're actually enhancing and supercharging your wisdom. Because you have that, you learn more about yourself than most people do. It becomes that odyssey of the mind, as I mentioned before, or you just learn more about, I would say, even learn how you process life, and you learn more about who you are. You get to really, quote unquote, know yourself. One of the compliments that women sometimes have given me in the past is, and I say that with a little bit of a smile and a joke on my face because I don't take it too seriously, right? They're like, women give me lots of compliments. So I'm like, sometimes women give me compliments. And one of the compliments they give me is, Madison, you really know yourself. You really figured out who you are. And that becomes because, or it came about because I was banging my head on the wall so hard trying to learn this stuff and trying to get feedback from people. And I processed it. And through that challenge, I learned who I really am. One of the greatest things that I've also discovered for myself is that I have an incredible pain threshold. And I don't mean pain where like I can like go to the gym and just lift weights until I'm puking, like that Arnold Schwarzenegger like mental focus kind of pain. I don't mean like that. I mean my pain threshold is really bizarre. To be perfectly honest, if I wasn't in RSD, I could do black op operations in like the Army. I can literally do that. I'm so able to get myself into a zone. They call it a disassociative state. I'm able to get myself into such a strong zone that I can just block out everything. I could also probably do Navy SEAL training. I don't know if my body would match up to it. The words aren't coming in my mouth right now. Kind of cold. The words, I don't know if I match up to that physically, but my mind is in the right headspace where I can do that. And because of this RSD training that I've done, I've learned really just where my pain threshold is, where my strengths are and how far I can push it. And if you learn pickup, you will discover incredible things about your pain threshold. You will discover exactly how far you can push it. You will see what you are made of as a human being. What's down to your soul? What's down to your core? What are you made of? What are your strengths? How far can you push it? Are you a man or are you a little mama's boy? Are you a bitch or are you spineless and have no backbone? You're gonna find that out about yourself. You're gonna see what you're really made of. So when people come, like, let's say there's some guys that get confrontation with you, and it's kind of like if you were an MMA fighter, you study MMA for 10 years or 5 years, you know exactly like how to get out of a fight and how to stop a fight. So when guys start puffing up the chest and getting all aggressive, you're like, whatever guy, listen, I've been training on my back doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for like 5 years in MMA, so I'm not really scared. It's kind of like that. When people start pushing up against you socially in interactions, you're like, whatever, I've been doing this for 5 years, I know I can handle it. So you walk around with an unbelievable kind of smirk and confidence. And it's not a confidence that you have because you know that you could take them down, even though you could. It's more of a confidence that you get from just being self-assured and knowing that you've been in extreme situations, extreme pressure situations before in the past, and you can handle it anytime that you need to. And that is a irreplaceable skill, something you can't get anywhere in life. I can imagine maybe if you had $1 billion or $1 million or $100,000, you know, I think Donald Trump had $1 billion and lost it, got it back up again. A buddy of mine had a $1 million company, lost it and got it back again. That's confidence in yourself that you could always resurface and recover. And I think you get that socially from pickup and game. You get this social confidence, and no matter what happens to you, no matter who breaks your heart, no matter who hurts you, no matter what happens to you, you can always get back up and rise to the occasion because you've done it before. So you know that you're made of the right stuff and you can do it again. I'd say the last one would be the idea of progress. And what does progress actually mean? You're all gonna progress at different speeds, and that's okay. That's A-okay, man. You don't have to progress any faster than what you actually do. One of the worst things you can do to yourself is compare yourself to the next man. That will continually keep you unhappy no matter what you do. Imagine you are getting your first date you ever had in a year, but your buddy, your wingman, gets one every month. So you still feel like you gotta catch up. So even when you're on that date, you can't even appreciate it. Or you're on a date, finally with a girl, and you're so happy to be there with her, and she's got like a little mole here, like a little hair, she's got like a little bit of a gut, and you know, she's not that funny, but it's your first date in a year. And all of a sudden a cuter girl walks by, and when you're on the date, you're like, oh, I should go talk to that girl over there. And you can't even appreciate where you are right now, because you're always thinking about the next one, the next one. How this progresses is eventually you get good at this stuff. You get really good at social dynamics. All of a sudden you got some friends you hang out with, you got some friends that are pretty cool, but you're like, I want to have the friends at the bottles, at the tables, at the club. I want to have those friends. And then you got a few girls and you're like, I got to get the next girl, the next girl, the next girl. And it becomes this hole at the bottom of a bucket. and you're constantly trying to fill this bucket with more validation and more approval and more respect and more women and more success, but you're never, ever, ever satisfied because you always want more, okay? Essentially, it's this. Okay, this is the idea of it. You're walking up to women trying to ask them if they can complete your puzzle. Let that sink in. You're asking them if they can complete your puzzle. So every approach you do is, hey, what's up? Can you complete my puzzle, please? And they're like, no. And then you walk up to the girl who has low standards, and you're like, can you complete my puzzle? She's like, I'm incomplete too. And she's like, hey, let's run off and be incomplete together. And then you finally get a girl home, and you hook up with her. And then afterwards, she doesn't call you back because she feels this gross kind of like pull from you. It's like, oh, this gross, groveling agenda, man. I'm gonna use her to complete my puzzle, and I'm not even gonna hide it. Maybe after this, I'll feel complete. She's part of my pickup journey. She's just another notch on the belt. Once I get her, Jenny will feel regret. I'm gonna fuck her so Jenny knows. Oh man. If I have sex with her, Jenny will know she made a mistake back in last year. She'll know. And then I'll brag about it on the internet. I can taste the juices of success already. That's a horrible situation to come from, or horrible frame of it, because you do get the success, but you're not even really appreciating it for what it is. You know, you're taking it and making it into this really grotesque, like morphed, mutated thing where you're using the women to somehow tell you that you're all right, or somehow tell you that it's okay to be you. And what you'll finally realize, hopefully, if you get past that point and you get to the end of your journey and you do get this stuff handled in your life, you know, you really focus on it for 6 months to a year, whatever, however long it takes. Take as long as it takes, by the way. But eventually you get to a point where you'll say to yourself, wow, I'm okay being who I was in the beginning. I'm okay being that nerdy guy, but nerdiness with a little bit of swag. Or I'm okay being that rocker guy, I just like to play his guitar. Now I'm the rocker guy with a little bit of swag. Or, you know, now I'm okay going back to focusing on my school, my studies, and my career. But now I can do it without feeling like I'm missing something in my life, right? You just have a more centered feeling of confidence, more centered sense of self. Because at the end of the day, nobody can complete you. As sad as that is, if you're in this room thinking about it, if you're dreaming about the perfect 10, dreaming about the model at the club, dreaming about the promotional girl who works for Budweiser, dreaming about the cheerleader, she'll never complete you. Never completely complete you. And in fact, you don't get her unless you feel like you're already complete. Give you an example. About 3 months ago? Yeah, about 3 months ago. I was supposed to say, actually it was more than 3 months ago. About 6 months ago, I met I have to beep this out, a Toronto Raptors cheerleader, okay? And so it's like one of the dancing girls for the basketball team. And met her in a club, and we were hanging out, and we just kept in contact briefly through Instagram. We were supposed to hang out. And what happened was I had 3 days in the city before I had to fly out. And so after a few months of talking, I'm like, all right, what day are you available? She's like, I'm available this day. I'm like, okay, video chat me, but let me know you're serious. So she calls me, video chats me, lets me know that she's serious. I'm like, cool, I saved the day for her. And I'm like, okay, so it's like some bullshit day, like a Sunday or whatever. Like Sunday, 6 p.m., we're gonna meet, awesome, great, great, great. We talk, it's all good, it's all gravy. And then what happens? Flakety flake, flakety flake. She flakes, right? She flakes. She's like, I could tell it was gonna be a flake by the start of the message. It was like, you are so gonna hate me right now. You're gonna wanna kill me. I'm like, fuck. So I saw like the little notification pop up, I'm like, shit. And it's like, you're gonna wanna hate me right now. You're gonna wanna kill me right now because I forgot that I had to go to this music studio and record this song with my friend. I really wanna go, it's important for my career, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Now, if I was waiting for that situation that finally like to get the cheerleader or whatever it is, if I was waiting for that situation and I was waiting for that situation to complete me, I would have been way more upset than I was. I would have been like 2 or 3 levels down more upset. I'm like, what the fuck? It's my last day here. I told you I was gonna be here. We talked about this. We agreed on this. I put this in my agenda. I would have been super pissed off. And by the way, that's also why girls flake, to test you out. So when a girl has like a mixed feeling about you, like a mixed intuition about you, she's not sure. Sometimes she's like, let me tell her I'm not sure. And she waits to see if you flip out, and she goes, I knew it. I knew he was insecure. I knew he was going around with pickup lines and showing it off, but I knew deep down inside he was insecure. Deep down inside, he had the agenda, right? Deep down inside, she knew it. And she could tell. And she waits for that opportunity for you to unmask yourself, to show who your true colors and show who you really are. But fortunately for me, I had reached a point where my idea of how I wanted to live my life was not to choose to have a woman complete me out of need. By the way, I'd love to be in a relationship. I'd love to be in a relationship. I probably want to get married in like next 4 or 5 years. Probably. You guys look stunned. You guys look stunned. But you guys are like please, no. Like, imagine I announced my wedding like online and like 5,000 guys show. You know the part where it's like, does anybody here want to like what's to say? Anybody here want to have anything like to say before I wed these two? Like 10,000 guys are like, I have something I want to say. It's like all these guys like just like around like, no, like pulling you back. I'm sorry, baby. I'm sorry. The community, the community, the tribe has spoken. I can't tell any of you guys where I'm getting married. I can't tell any of you guys. Yeah, that's actually probably what happened. Some rat guy on the internet would show up, like, you just to be there, like just like, hey, these nuts are great, like just to eat the food or whatever. It'd be awesome. I'd definitely show up. I mean, Nick got married. Why can't I get married? Shit, man. I pimped it for a decade. I'm entitled to this shit. You know, I mean, and if you do it for that long, I think you're entitled to as well. What's my point here? Now that I've offended all my core audience, my point is I don't think that you should use a woman to complete you, but I think if you have been through enough where you are somewhat complete already, and you want to find somebody else to have a joint partnership, a companionship, a union to build with, have somebody on your side, somebody who believes in your goals, motivates you, you encourage them, they make you better. You make them a better person day by day. If you want to find that once you already feel fulfilled, then I think it's a great place to come from. But for now, if you're just like, are you the puzzle piece that will complete me? Or if you're going around doing approaches like that, you got to kind of shift your mindset. Now, you will have to go through a little bit of that to at least get some base level results. You know, just at least get some skills at least. Because you don't want to be the guys walking around like, I'm complete already. I haven't had a date in 5 years. Complete. Yeah. Live long and prosper. Right? I just saw that because I saw the Star Wars thing there, the Star Trek thing there. Yeah, so you don't want to be that guy. You know? No, I don't mean that. I mean this guy. Be this guy. This guy's fine. This guy's fine. I don't mean this guy particularly. I mean that, like the version of the guy who's like hasn't had a date in 5 years or has no friends or isn't really happy with himself and his upward success, and it just says, I'm complete anyways. Don't be delusional. Tracking your progress. Track it. Track it. And this is something that I had to deal with a lot, man. Financially, like this is huge. I used to have terrible finances. One of my buddies back in the day used to call me financially obese because I just was like oblivious to everything. I was the guy that had that financial blind spot where if I go to the ATM, I press no receipt because I want to see how much money I have. And I had that huge blind spot financially. I would just ignore over and over again. My buddy's like, yo, you need to do something about it. So finally, one day, what I decided to do is this. I woke up, and every morning for the first 20 minutes, I would track my finances. I would go into mint.com, so the app that tells you what your budget is, how much you're spending on food, groceries, entertainment, transportation. It tells you all this, and then it tells you if you've gone over your budget. You get notifications. I would also check my little journal. I had an Excel sheet where I'd put all my expenses coming up for the month, and how much money I'd make, and what my income was, and all this. And I do this for 20 minutes a day, and also I'd listen to Poor Charlie's Almanac by Benjamin Franklin, one of the most amazing financial books ever written, better than Richest Man in Babylon, better than Rich Man, Poor Dad, better than a lot of them. And I'd read that every morning or listen to the audiobook version of it, at least anyways, every single morning. You could actually go on YouTube and find that. So that was my kind of financial tracking plan that I had. And I did it every morning for about a year, and after that I just saw instant success. And the success came, I don't think, because I got more money or more income. I was just more aware of how I was spending it. I was more aware of my habits. So before I go to make that impulse purchase, I go, oh, this morning I'm already prepared because I did this morning financial ritual. And be prepared for it, and I would just spend my money differently. It's kind of like they say you should make your bed in the morning, and I'm horrible at this when I'm traveling on the road, but they kind of say you should make your bed in the morning because it's like one level of success that you have, one little accomplishment you have in your life. At least if you started your day, you had some success, and then you can take that little bit of confidence and, you know, roll it over into some other stuff later on in the afternoon or in the morning, right? So that's the idea of it. Now, how does it relate to pick up and self-development? You got to create field reports. You got to create field reports. You got to create field reports. So I'll tell you what a field report is. A field report is when you go out every single night, you keep a little diary journal of what happened to you, the interactions that you had, the things that you learned in your mind, the emotional experiences that you had, the wisdom that you got, the challenges you had, how you went through it, what you thought, what you felt in moments and moments. That's what you write down. And everybody who ever got good at this, and I know you're one of those people, right? That's what you want. You want to get good at this. Every single person who got good at this kept a field report. It's without a doubt, it's the one universal thing that they have. One of my buddies in Vegas before, back in Vegas Immersion, he had like an itemized page, like note by note by note, page, beginning, intro, end, like scrapbook of his life, okay? And every girl he met, the experiences, the photos they took together, etc. And he got amazing, okay? He got amazing really fast in 100 days. So everybody that got good did this. I did this, Julian did this, Max did this, Owen has like 10,000 posted this, right? Everybody has tons of these. We used to post from RSC Nation. Now, we don't always do it anymore because now we have videos. And I can actually go back and I can watch my infield footage. I can sit down, relax, have an old fashioned, have a little cigar, watch my infield footage. And that's like a field report. So I can see what I did. I can see how it happened. I can see the lessons. I can see what I experienced, see what I did in real time. And sometimes when I watch that infield footage back, I'll be honest, sometimes I'm like, oh no, oh, gross. Like, who is that person on the screen? That's totally not me. That's totally not me. I can't identify that person. Other times I watch it back, I'm like, yeah, that is totally me, right? So you have those back and forth moments every once in a while where you can identify what you see, and also sometimes where you're discussing what you see. But it's important to be able to see your patterns, your behavior, habits, that sometimes you kill it, sometimes you suck, and you'll see why you kill it and why you suck. And not only that, when you write down the lessons and you read them back the next day, the next week, the next month, you learn about yourself. You go, man, I'm always fucking depressed. I gotta change that. Man, I never do mixed sets. You know, and I don't even believe in mixed sets. I think mixed sets are just normal people hanging out. That's what I call it. Mixed sets. Oh no, the mixed set, the guy in the girl group. Oh no, how do I approach? Oh, you mean the mixed set? Oh, you mean normal people hanging out? That's what you mean? And you'll start to realize these patterns that you have, things that you're ignoring, and it'll shine a light on these blind spots, and you'll get better a lot faster. You absolutely have to do it. You know, it's like I was watching Gordon Ramsay actually last night. I love Kitchen Nightmares. Love it to death. One of my favorite shows. He's always mad at some guy named Muhammad. He's like, Muhammad, the chicken is burnt, Muhammad. He's always mad at Muhammad for whatever reason, right? It's always Muhammad. It's always like a rat, and he picks up the rat. It's like, ew, gross. He like flings around in the air, and his like hands are all dirty. But anyways, point is, love Kitchen Nightmares. On that show, Gordon Ramsay got pissed off at many chefs that never wrote down their recipes. He's like, I'm trying to be here. I'm trying to improve your business. I want to help you, but you never write down your fucking recipes. How are you gonna get a better restaurant? How are you gonna have your chefs that are beside you write or cook and learn? And you can't do that. You have to write down the recipes, right? So keeping a detailed journal or writing things down allows you to do a mind dump and get rid of all the things that you think are super important, that you believe are important. You've thought, told yourself they're important. You feel that they're important, but they're really not. They really don't mean anything at all. And when you write it down, it makes it, you see, man, I've been blowing this up in my mind. It'd be such a big deal, but it really isn't. I can remember times where I had phone calls I had to make to an aunt or an uncle. I wanted to go see this uncle of mine, and I never did it. I just blew up to this big thing in my mind. Then I finally wrote down the to-do list, call uncle. It's like, it was literally just dialing 7 digits. But in my mind, it was a big deal. It was a huge deal. Until I wrote it down, I didn't understand that. I couldn't see it clearly. I couldn't put it into perspective of everything else that was happening in life, right? Because in our minds, we make things, these big ordeals and challenges and dragons that we have to slay. And really, they're just like chickens we can just, kick to the curb, or little ants we can crush in our life. Not big challenges at all. So I definitely recommend that you write things down. okay? Dump it out of your mind, get it out of your head. Keep a journal of your success. Track your progress, okay? That means every once in a while also going back and reviewing it. Track that progress. It's gonna mean so much to your success. It's gonna mean so much to your results. And that's what I care about. I care that you have success and results. I care that you feel good, you enjoy it, you learn. But most importantly, I care that you have success and results. And if you're fucking serious, if you're one of those guys that watches me and you're serious about results, you're serious about achieving, that's what we stand for here in this tribe. That's what we're all about. We're all about success and results. If you watch me, you share that common value. So if you're anything like me and you're one of the people I'm talking about, the guys who want success and want results, keep a journal, keep a diary, keep a field report, stack of papers, a notepad on your phone. Keep that, review it every once in a while. There you go, there you have it. In big open letters, big screen, big vision. That's exactly what I would do if I was new at the game. What I would tell myself, the top 4 lessons and strategies and things that I'd recommend that you work on. So if you enjoy these ideas, if you enjoy this kind of collection of knowledge, knowing what to do in your outer game and your inner game, and personally what to do inside of yourself, your mindsets, your headspaces, your techniques, your strategies, the concepts, your day-to-day behaviors, if you're enjoying that, what I recommend you do is check out the Madison Bootcamp at Home. Put a link down here below. There's this kind of information in the program and so much more. Imagine if you had this, how much time you would save in learning. Imagine the years that you would shave off of your learning curve, years of frustration, saving yourself years of banging your head up against the wall, making mistakes. I don't want you to make those mistakes. I want you to avoid those mistakes. I want you to speed track your learning and supercharge your success and your results. So, check out the Madison Bootcamp at Home. Check it out right now. There's a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you feel like it doesn't get you everything that you want, feel free to return it. We'll still be friends. You see me in the street, I'll shake your hand, I'll do a selfie picture or whatever, right? So I just want to put that guarantee in place so that you know you're getting the promise of a coach. I want you to get treated the same way I would want a coach to treat me, all right? So I'm putting this in there for you. So as always, thank you very much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. Keep in touch and don't be a stranger. Let me ask you a question. Is there a woman at your work and you and her would just get along great? You're perfectly made for each other, but you don't know how to reach out and make it happen. Or you go out with your buddies for some drinks and the woman of your dreams just walks by, your future girlfriend or future mother of your children, and you're just paralyzed by fear. You have no idea what to do. Or every once in a while you're lucky enough to get a phone number, but you mess it up by sending a long wall of a needy text and she never texts you back. If this is you, I see guys like you all the time. I'll tell you why. Because I used to be just like you, all right? For 10 years, I studied women and pickup, and I became a world-class dating coach. And I take guys out every single weekend of my life to bars, lounges, cafes, nightclubs in their city. And I teach them how to interact with beautiful women in real time. I'm like the angel on their shoulder. I tell them what to do, what to say, and I show them how to do it in real life. And that is called the Bootcamp. And what that is RSD's most premier program ever. We are the gold standard in the dating industry. And all my clients come to me and they love what they do. They love the experience. But sometimes I have requests from all around the world and I can't fulfill them all. Guys say to me, hey, I'd love to do a program with you, but I can't come to your city. I can't afford it right now. I don't have the time off of work. And they ask me over and over again. So I said to myself, how can I bring them that same amazing, custom tailored, personalized, unique experience anytime, any place? I want to make it virtual. I want to make it engaging, and I want to make it effective. So what I'll present to you right now is the Madison Bootcamp at Home. So the Madison Bootcamp at Home works on 3 pillars for the success. And the first pillar is the archetype. This is the first module of the program. What I did is I analyzed every single student I've had for years. I took thousands of data points and put them together into this quiz to help you understand what your dating personality is. Now, once you understand this, it will change your life because you are a unique individual. No one in the world is like you. It's not a one blanket size fits all kind of program. It's a custom tailored program just for you and nobody else. And once you understand your archetype and you understand your strengths and your weaknesses, we can take those weaknesses you have and turn them into superpowers because I get rid of all the automatic programming that's been there holding you down in the background for years. All that confusion that's been putting you aside from your goals, we stop that instantly. And once I do that, I can install a new set of software and behaviors and habits into your mind for success. Pillar number 2. is the student infield coaching, okay? This is where I go with a hidden camera and I record myself coaching students. Once you see the guys that have the same archetype as you, killing it, crushing it, they used to have the same concerns and blind spots and sticking points, but once you see them overcome that, you're gonna know that's possible for you too. It's virtually monkey see, monkey do, and seeing is believing, my friend. And the third pillar is the roadmap. Now, I'm not just gonna leave you high and dry. I'm gonna put you on the path to success for the first day, for the first week, for the first month, and also for a lifetime. I figured out a few ways to do this. One of them is by real-time virtual coaching. What I'm gonna do is invite you to every single boot camp that I have that year digitally so you can participate and be interactive. Imagine that, anywhere in the world that I am, you and me working together with my students, forming that community. And also, I'm gonna give you real-time audio coaching so you can listen to me in your ear when you go out. I'll be there guiding you, motivating you, and mentoring you step by step all the way through the process. If that wasn't enough, I've also included text game. So all those numbers you get, you can follow up on them and get results. And it's 2017, so you better believe I included social media game in there as well, not to mention online dating. I want for you the same things that I know you want for yourself. And what is that? To take all your weaknesses and turn them into superpowers. And also have the competence and confidence to move forward and have a roadmap and a plan for success. I also know you want to stop being triggered by external things in your environment so you're in control of your life once and for all. And it's time to stop sacrificing. Haven't you sacrificed enough already? You sacrificed time, you sacrificed energy, you sacrificed your heart. No more. The time to stop sacrificing is now. As usual, you're gonna get a 30-day money-back guarantee because I'm gonna treat you the same way I want a coach to treat me. And as if this already wasn't a no-brainer, I'm gonna include some amazing bonuses. First and foremost, I'm gonna include my Way the Superior Boss audiobook. This is a 92-page book that I wrote of all my experiences when I first started out so you can learn along with me. I'm also gonna give you the accountability teleconferences and as I mentioned before, those virtual interactive bootcamp debriefs, you're welcome to come along to the ride of those for 1 year. And I'm gonna give you a $300 discount on Boss, which is my instructor level game program that takes character-based pickup and helps you work on your inner game. And last but not least, if you sign up before September the 27th, I'm gonna give you a $100 discount on the Madison Bootcamp at home. You might not realize it right now, but you are part of something that's bigger than you or than me. You are part of a movement, a very special movement that is changing the course of mankind and relationships. This community that you are now part of will build you up when you feel weak. It will dust you off in your time of need and rescue you. I want to be there to make sense of this madness for you, to make sense of it all, because really you deserve that. To be that big brother in your life, to be that mentor in your life, to be that guiding hand that takes you step by step through the darkness. Click the link down below right now. Get the Madison Bootcamp at home. You owe it to yourself. All the Bootcamp Brigade is waiting with open arms. We want to see you in the winner's circle. We want to see you at the finish line. Click the link down below right now, and I'll see you on the inside.